This is the story of the creation of Robola cooperative wines in the Omala, the famous valley of the island of Kefalonia. The classic mountain Robola of Kefalonia vine has been cultivated in the valley for more than 1,000 years on relatively poor and lime-based rocky soils. Additional grape varieties were introduced into the valley over the centuries, and today another 6 varieties are cultivated. The grape growing year begins in autumn. The vines are pruned and the soil cultivated. The vines are very hardy. They withstand high winds, ground as well as air frosts, and even snow is encountered in the valley during the winter months. As winter turns to spring, the soil has been rejuvenated. The final pruning is undertaken, and very quickly the new growth begins to show. As the growth progresses, pesticides are added to protect the yield. There is a reason for the bushiness of these vines. The canopy protects the roots during the high temperatures of spring and summer, as there is no water supply within reach. Shade from the sun ensures sufficient moisture remains in the surrounding soil. The vine's taproot can extend 6 metres into the fractured bedrock, searching for water, and those fronds, well, they can extend over a considerable distance. Excess growth has to be trimmed during the month of July. The harvest begins about the second week in August and continues for the next 3 weeks. The other grape varieties usually become ripe enough to harvest towards the end of August into September. The company's oenologist controls the harvest. He will visit each area of the valley regularly to test the grape on the vine. Using his experience and also a refractometer to check sugar levels in the grape, he's looking for optimum ripeness. Once optimum ripeness is reached, the members of that area are contacted and the harvest begins immediately. The grapes are brought to the winery and weighed. They are then stacked, ready for pressing. From now on until the wine is bottled, the process is completed in stainless steel. The trough is filled. The screw in the trough draws the grape onto a flatbed shaker where the grape stalks are separated. A cyclone removes the stalks. These will rot down, and together with the discarded skins and pips, they will create superb fertiliser for the next year's organic grape cycle. Meanwhile, the grapes drop through a sieve into the macerator. This crushes and bursts the grape, releasing the juices and some of the yeast which actually lie under the skin. This mixture is then drawn by a vacuum into the press. Inside the press is a membrane which allows the juices, we call the must, to pass, whilst holding back the pips and the skins. Air pressure is applied, which causes the membrane to compress the grape, thereby extracting the must. During pressing, the cylinder rotates. The resulting centrifugal forces assist in displacing any remaining must. The must exits the press through splash valves and falls into a collection trough. The membrane retracts at the end of the run. The compressed detritus drops through a sliding door onto a screw which carries it away to join the compost heap. The must is then pumped through a filtration system into the storage tanks. As the tank fills, residual air is displaced through a water trap using natural wine fumes introduced by a piped pressurising system. The resulting fermentation is a purely natural process. The yeast, released from the grape skins during the pressing process, attacks the natural sugar in the must and it reproduces itself rapidly. The resulting chemical reaction converts the sugar into alcohol and releases carbon dioxide. The riper the grape, the more natural sugar it contains, and therefore the more alcohol can be produced. Chemicals are never added. The process is closely monitored and the liquids tested regularly whilst the tank room is kept at a static temperature of between 20 and 23 degrees Celsius. The fermentation continues for up to 40 days. The longer the fermentation can be maintained, the better the resulting wine. Blending commences once the wines are fermented out. Inline filters are used to remove residues and clarify the wine. The specialist Bio Robola and San Gerasimo Robola wines are never used for blending. The Robola, Sautsi, Postolidi, Moscato and Mathonios white varieties and the red Mavrodaphne are incorporated into the recipes of a high quality range of both white and rosé wines. Bottling commences a few months after the fermentation is complete and is processed using ultra-modern automatic plant in 5 separate phases. The bottles are washed and clarified, and then they're filled. The stainless plunger provides a nitrogen seal 2 seconds before corking, and only natural cork is used. The white Robola wines are treated separately from the rest of the range by the taxman. Here, a numbered tax label is being placed over the cork. A heat shrink cap is then attached, and then the bottle passes through a dryer cabinet before labelling. The plant will produce 2,000 bottles of wine every hour and is supplied by 2 5-ton capacity production tanks. The sackcloth bag and medallion make the classic Robola very distinctive. These 5 dry white wines are of 12% volume. They are best chilled at between 10 to 12 degrees Celsius and pair well with seafood, fish and meats. They are best in their youth and should never be stored for more than 2 years. The limited edition Select San Gerasimo Robola of Kefalonia is a bone-dry, femininely elegant appellation of origin superior quality wine. It possesses a full bouquet with a good concentration of citrus fruit. There's an excellent backbone and a fine, lively integrated acidity that binds the light citrus and steely flavours beautifully. The finish is long, smooth and delicate. The classic Robola of Kefalonia is also an appellation of origin of superior quality wine. Dry, fresh and balanced, its colour is of white-green with a golden hue. It has a discreet bouquet of citrus blossoms and a characteristic medium-bodied, light but tangy flavour and a very balanced fruity taste with a refreshingly crisp, dry finish. Bio Robola of Kefalonia is a distinguished, totally organic appellation of origin of superior quality wine from smaller, sweeter grapes located at lower altitudes. Dry but exceptionally balanced, it has a complex bouquet of citrus and peach, a medium body with hints of minerals, intense tangy citrus flavours and a refreshingly long, lemony aftertaste. Melambus is a quality dry white wine blended from Kefalonian Sautzi and Vostalidi varieties. It has clean white, turning pale yellow colouring, a fine and gentle flavour and a balanced finish. Slopes of Anos is a quality white wine with a clean, pale, light straw colour. It is a blend of Kefalonian Robola, Sautzi, Vostalidi and Mathonios, and has a delightful bouquet of white flowers, tropical and citrus fruits and garden herbs. The finish is long, full and penetrating. Brillanti Blanc Sec and Demi-Sec are 11.5% volume, dry and medium dry table wines with characteristic crystal clearness and astonishing balance. They are expertly blended from the Kefalonian Robola, Sautzi, Vostalidi and Moscato varieties. With a clean, clear, open yellow colour, a bouquet of spring flowers and citrus fruit, and a distinctive, refreshingly fruity flavour, they give a long and satisfying finish. Brillanti Rosé Sec and Demi-Sec are 11.5% volume, dry and medium dry table wines with excellent balance of aroma and flavour. Blended from Kefalonian Robola, Sautzi, Moscato, white varieties and the red Mavrodaphne of Kefalonia, they offer a clean, clear red rose colour and a distinct bouquet of raspberries and just a hint of roses and glazed cherries. Tasting gives a distinctively refreshingly concentrated flavour of cherries and roses, and with a fine streak of acidity, there's quite a long finish. Nos is a 12.5% volume, distinctive, intensely coloured, dry, ruby red wine. Kefalonian Agaritico and Mavrodaphne wines are expertly blended, and the blend is matured for 3 years before bottling. The blended wine spends 4 to 6 months in French oak barrels during the maturing process. It has an aroma combining mature fruits with nuts and a distinctive, smooth taste of vanilla and cinnamon. The finish is surprisingly long and smooth. Glico Orgus is a sweet red wine blended from Kefalonian varieties of Moscato, Mavrodaphne, Agaritico, Sautzi and Mathonios. This is a delicate ruby red distillate of 15% volume with an aromatic bouquet of glazed cherries, cinnamon and vanilla. The taste is a good humoured smooth blend of citrus and cherry with a pleasurable soft smile of a finish. The Quartz range of fine wines offer different aromas and tastes and are suitable for all occasions.